All right, so welcome to another trading session. My name is John McLaughlin, and today we're going to be trading the Crossfire pairs. So it's 1 o'clock. We do this 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. GMT UK time. And the pairs that I'm going to be doing today at 1 o'clock: Euro CAD, Euro USD, GBP CAD, and GBP USD. And what we do is trade the opening of the New York session. Today is Friday, so typically on Friday we're going to expect a lot of volatility. Let's go to my Forex book, economic calendars. You can see from here a lot. There's 13:30 high impact news for the Canadian dollar, loads and loads of news for Canadian at 13:30, and at 14:30 pretty much throughout the whole of the afternoon, high and medium and low impact news for the USD. So yeah, we're going to expect a lot of volatility for that, as we always do on a Friday, which may be good or it may not be particularly good for us. We'll see how we go. So here's what I do. So I'm on the 15-minute chart right now with Euro CAD, and what I like to do, I like to go and put a little indicator. Where are we now? I'm going to put that on the 1300. I know I always come on a little bit early. Sometimes we just start cracking on at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. But I've come on a bit early because what I like to do, I like to kind of look at the markets, find out what price has been doing, look at price action, put on my imbalance or fair value gaps, whatever you want to call them, and just give me a bit of an idea before we start to go into the trades. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the first line on there, and I'll get two trend lines. I'm going to show you at 1:15 what I'm going to do with these, because these give me an idea of where price is going to go. So I'll just leave that on there for now. So 15-minute time frame. Let's have a look and see if we've got any imbalance, and we can see some straight away just down here. Let me just zoom in on that. Right, so we've got imbalance from here down to this little peak there. So put him on there. Christ, I think I need bigger glasses. Right, so what I've got this saved as a where are we now? Got this saved down here. Imbalance, okay. All it does, it just gives me I'm somebody that leaves lots of visuals. Okay, so if I have a box on there, I've got to go, well, what is the box? Okay, so that's my box, imbalance box. Let's see what else we've got. And what I'll do, I'll just when I get these on, I'll show you what indicators I've got on, just to give you an idea. So we've got some imbalance up here, quite a bit to be fair. Let's make that a bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. That's better. Okay, so with imbalance, what you need essentially is 3 candles. So we're taking our indication from this one and indication from this one. This is the imbalance. So we're taking it from the bottom of that wick, just there, and I'll scroll down, I'll scroll across. So you see the top of that wick there? So that's imbalance. If that wick had come all the way up to here before going down, that would have mitigated that imbalance. But currently we've got imbalance on there. So bottom of that wick to the top of that wick there, just here. Okay, so that's imbalance, and you can see from this one, this possibly could have been imbalance, but it mitigated it because there's no gaps. Okay, so it came up, it came down. Okay, went to here, went up and down. So you've got coverage from 3. Okay, here you haven't. Okay, you just got the 1. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And let's just see where we're at with that. Okay, so let me just put my visuals on. I'll bring that over to there. This one is the same. That'll do. Okay, so I'm going to do the same for all 4 pairs, and there's previous imbalance here from earlier. what I tend to do as well is when that imbalance gets taken away, when it gets mitigated, then I will see that there, look, that's just touched on the imbalance. It hasn't actually taken all of it away. Okay, it's just slightly, and what it's done, it's gone to the pivot. So I've got pivots on here as well. I'm going to show you that. But what I tend to do is, if the candle goes up above here and mitigates that imbalance, I'll just take it off the screen. I'll take it off the chart just to try and keep the charts a little bit cleaner, because it is so easy to clutter up your charts with stuff. Just have a look at this. This looks like it should have imbalance somewhere, but yeah, there's a little bit there, look. Let's put that on as well. So again, with all this imbalance that we've got, no, we haven't got imbalance there at all. It's been taken out here. So yeah, with all this imbalance that we've got, and particularly with it being Friday afternoon, are we going to see some big jumps to the upside? Possibly. Okay, a little bit there, look. A lot of imbalance. A lot of imbalance. What else have we got? That's about it, I think. Yeah, until here. Okay, good. You can see why I come on a bit early. But again, it just gives you the broader visual of what's happening. And with imbalance, it's always good to know where price can potentially go, and also with your pivots on there, where price can potentially go. And also, I sometimes put my own lines on just to give me an idea of what price has done previously, for potential take profit levels. Right, okay, 15-minute time frame. Where are we? Euro USD. Euro's really tanked the last few days. Crazy. Right, so crazy times actually with the economy. Scary times with the rate of change. Anyway, where are we going? Imbalance here. That's about it, I think, for there. That's about it there. You can see how wicked this is. A bit of consolidation before I move to the downside. Yeah, we've got maybe a bit on here. See, this is imbalance that I had from the other day, so we'll get rid of that if we can. Yeah, it's gone. You can see how that was in balance, so it was there, and then what it's done, it's gone up to mitigate that. You can see that line, that dashed line, it's all been taken away, it's all been taken out. Right, okay, so let's put our vertical line on the 1300, and I put the two trend lines on. I'll show you in a bit what I'm going to do with those. Turn this one into red. Right, let's move on to the GBP CAD. Let's see what's happened with GBP CAD. Yeah, very similar to the Euro. GBP's tanked over the last few days. Kind of went up on a bit of an uptrend there. This is 15-minute time frame, and what you can see between these dashed lines are the actual days trading. Right, so let's have a quick look for imbalance. Let's make this a bit bigger. Yeah, good. stacks of imbalance, it really is. It's crazy. What's this? This is old. This looks like old imbalance that's been mitigated. So we'll take that away. Speaking to a guy the other day, and he says that, you know, whenever he gets imbalance on his chart, he just leaves it on there. But he's got to have some lines on his chart if he just leaves them on there forever. There are always good potential, you know, areas of interest. But again, you want to be, me anyway, I like to just have I like to be visual, but I don't like to be cluttered. Right. Okay, so 15-minute time frame. Put our verticals on. So it's 1304, and I can show you what I'm going to do with these trend lines at 1315. It just forms part of our Crossfire strategy. Put that up a little bit. There we go. Right, that's it for that one. So the last one, GBP USD. Let's go and put that, because we're in the position. So 1300, trend line at the top, and trend line at the bottom. The bottom one, obviously, is red. There we go. Right, let's go and have a look for some imbalance. It's going to be in a similar position as the previous ones. Make it a bit bigger. So that, no, see, that's been taken out with this. So it looks like there isn't much imbalance on here. What's in there? Somebody asked me the other day, how do you actually identify imbalance? And it's sometimes your eye gets attuned to it. You can get indicators, just the imbalance indicator, and it will show up a certain colour. But what I've found is it doesn't remove it once the imbalance has been mitigated. And the way I see the candles is, if you've here we go. If you've ever sort of fitted a roof or an old slate roof, they've got to overlap by 3. So the top, the middle, and the bottom, and they all overlap. And if you look at this kind of scenario, that this candle here is overlapping this candle, which is overlapping this candle, okay? And that's kind of the way I see it. It looks like an old slate roof, okay? And when you get a gap, okay, something like this, where it doesn't cover to there, okay? It doesn't cover. So we need that this is imbalanced, but then it's been mitigated when the price has come back up, so we can take that away. So that's just one of the little quirks of how I remember it. Everyone trades differently. Everyone has their own ways, and you just got to find what works for you. Okay, so that's us ready for 1315. And as soon as we get to 1315, I'll show you what we do with these trend lines. In fact, I'll just demonstrate. I'll just show you what I'm going to do. If I can get these candles big enough to see. Right, so there's the 1300, and what we're looking for, we're going to look left, okay, and we're looking for the higher high next to this particular candle, okay. So currently, as you can see, the red candle next to it, to the left, is slightly higher, okay. So what I do, I'll go and put my magnet tool on. I'll go and get my green candle, and I'll drag it down to the top of there. Now obviously we've got to wait till 1315, but assuming this is 1315, that's what I would do for that. Then I'll grab the end of the trend line and I would put it on top of that wick, okay, and there's my first trend line. The next one, so I've got to be mindful of the fact that it's not time yet, but anyway. So right now what I'm doing for the sell, I'm looking for the lower low next to the 1300 candle, okay, which currently is this one, this green one here, okay. So I'm going to put it at the bottom of the green candle wick, and if you just put your magnet tool on TradingView, it makes it a lot easier. So then this then would go at the bottom of this candle, where it's still painted at the minute, so we're going to wait. But let's assume it's there, okay. So for this particular strategy, what we're waiting for, in principle, there's other things that I'm going to talk about as well, But in principle, we're waiting for the price to go above the red trend line. Sorry, let me say that again. We're waiting for the price to go above the green trend line for buys, and we're waiting for the price to go below the red trend line for potential sells. Okay, and I'll walk you through what we're going to be doing. If this candle, after it finishes painting in about 5 minutes, goes below, then we're going to need to look for another candle which is lower than that one. Okay, so that's really what we're waiting for right now. As you can see, we've got Canadian high impact Canadian news here. Again, more Canadian, US, lots of US news, and you know, with the imbalance that we've looked at, maybe not particularly with that one, but again, it's going to be similar to the Euro USD with the imbalance at the top. I can see price shooting one way to take out stop losses, because you know, when we get news, then it's a great opportunity for the banks to not manipulate the market, but also to liquidate the market for their own benefit, take everyone out their stop losses, and then push price in the direction they want to go. You know, you can never predict price. You've always got to read it and sort of trade accordingly. But looking at this with the imbalance up here, okay, the Euro CAD, lots of imbalance at the top there. I can possibly see price coming down and then maybe back up. Okay, and you say we've got this big push to the downside. Okay, and lots of imbalance from there. And again, it's Friday afternoon, so you know, the powers that be, they want to go off and enjoy the first day of winter, 1st of December, as they say. Freezing here today in the UK. Rubbish weather. Hence the many layers I've got on. Right, 13:10. 5 minutes until we put the trend lines on. Yeah, I mean, all this imbalance needs taken out. Let's just have a little bit of a closer look and see what we've got going up here, because I think I put this on the other day. So the imbalance was here. It's still active, So here's the question: do you think imbalance? No, not the imbalance. The price may potentially come all the way up here. These are the pivot points. Okay, this is just an indicator. Yeah, I can show you the indicators. So I've got the pivots on. Pivots. Just I've got the main pivot line, S1, S2, S3. I did actually start using it with S1 and R1, which is support 1 and resistance 1. But I found it more easier. That's not really a word. But price was going way above S1 and S2, and it was easier to read with S3 on, so I kept it on. And you know what it does? It just identifies areas of support and resistance, and you can look at price action and determine where you want to take a price to. What we're doing with this strategy, this is scalping. So you know, we've got to be scalping on the 15-minute setup, and then we're looking at a 2-minute for entries. So you know, price can move fairly quick, and typically we're going for a 1-to-2 ratio at take profit 1, and then depending on the trade and depending on the kind of price action, we'll look at taking take profit 2, take profit 3, and so on. And as that profit moves up, we can either use a trade manager to do it automatically, or we can manually just move up that stop loss as we lock in on more profits. Okay, I've got the 5, 13, 62 clouds, so that just gives me an idea of the moving averages. And again, on the moving average side, if we start with the top, I've got the blue one. Blue one here is 200, the 62, or the green is the 62. The 13, as you can see, you can see it here. 13 here is the yellow, and I've got the 5 is the white. Okay, and again, it just adds more little factors, little probability stacks as to whether a trade is going to go, in our favor or not, and whether we should take it. And just down here I've got the Wada Atar, and the Wada Atar, if I can just make it a bit bigger for you, if I manage to do that, there we go. So again, the histogram tells us the volume, and again, every indicator that you've got lagging, nothing's going to predict anything, so you've got to, you know, weigh up many different factors. But you've got the histogram, which tells you the potential strength, or the strength at the time of the price. So here you can see we've got a strong buy, and here we've got a stronger sell. What we don't want to be doing is taking any trades in this, what we call the dead zone. And when price moves out of the dead zone and is giving us a nice push down, you can see this white line is pushing down, then that's an indicator that there's plenty of volume in the market, and we can potentially look at taking a trade. So that's the Wada. So let me just make that a bit bigger. That's tiny. Right, 13:14. We've got another minute or a few more seconds. Oh, what time is it here? 30 odd seconds. Just see what we've got here. So yeah, look, you can see the wick has pushed down. So now we need to look for a lower low next to the left of this green candle. So the lower low is, I would say, this red one here. Okay. Again, is it going to change in the next few seconds? Maybe not. There we go. That's it. That's it. Us on. Okay. So that's now painted. We've now got a new candle, a new 15-minute candle. So that's us set with our alerts, with our imbalance. So we're now going to switch that to 2 minutes, and we'll go to the next one, Euro USD. Let's put these candles on. So the higher high next to here is the red one. Put the magnet on. Okay, and the lower low may not have one. Okay, so that's the new trading day. If we haven't got a new lower low, then all we do is we grab a trend line, and we grab it, and as we've clicked it, we're going to click shift. Okay, and it puts a horizontal, so we just want a horizontal line on there. Okay, so that's on the 15. So that's on there. Need bigger screens, people. Need bigger screens. And this is down to here. This is quite a weird looking one, this. But that's it. That's where we are. The higher high, which is this red candle, and the actual candle we're interested in is that one. So that's it. Let me just put it on a bit more accurately if we can. Yeah, that'll do. Good. Right, next one, GBP. In fact, let's stick it on to 2 minutes. What I tend to do is we look at the 2 minutes for entries, and we look at the 15s and also the 2s for your potential take profits. Right, so higher high for this one is this red one here. Magnet tool goes on. The lower low of that one is the one next to it. There. That's going to go up to here. This is going to go down, just touch the top of that wick. There we go. Right, bang it on the 2 minutes. Last one, GBP USD. So there's our candle on there. This is our line. So we have the higher high is this red one right next to it, and the lower low is the same one. Bring the trend line to the bottom of the wick, and bring the buy trend line to the top of the wick. There we go. That's us in. Right, 2 minutes. So here's the thing, what do you do whilst you're waiting for high impact news? And the fact is, what I tend to do, particularly with it being Friday, is I'll just wait. And generally what you'll find on the run up to high impact news, you'll end up with a bit of a consolidation, and that's what you can see here. There's not really much volume in it, as you can see from the Wadarata. There's not really much going on. Okay, and if we just measure this, I mean, this is 2 minutes as well. If we just take off that, so if you look at the 2 minutes, and this is like 21 pips. So this is like a 21 pip sort of range, if you like, give or take. Okay, so it's just in consolidation. It looks like it's been pretty much in consolidation since 8:30 this morning. You know, so all we're going to do is sit tight and wait. And if you can see the position of, sorry about moving this chart around all the time. It's just trading view, unfortunately. So what you've got here is what we call no man's land. Okay, so you've got the trend line above, so that's going to be causing resistance. So it's not going to want to go through that. It's going to be a bit of a battle to try and get through that trend line. And also the red trend line is going to be support. And as you can see here, look, it's support, support, support there. Okay, support down here. I know we just put it on, but it just confirm. And it's really nice when you put a trend line on your chart and the price is respecting that trend line. It gives you an indication that the trend line's in the right position, and also that your strategy works. So what we could do here potentially, if there was no news, obviously I'm just going to wait, but we're looking for price to go above the green trend line, and then we're looking for areas of where price could potentially go. And as you can see, this level of imbalance, this has caused a bit of resistance. Okay, so I can imagine what's going to happen is going to bob along a little bit, and then when it gets to the news, it's going to go in a mad direction. It's probably going to go up and mitigate this imbalance, but we'll see. We don't know what's going to happen. We just have to look and react. Okay, Euro USD. I don't know why it's not showing my USD. Oh, it's here. That's why. Because it's further away. Okay, so there's a bit of time here, and you might think, okay, well, you know, we haven't got news for, you know, an hour and a bit, hour and a half, maybe 40 minutes. Is it worth getting in? And sometimes it is, but again, you just got to look at the price action and find out what's going on. And if this started going for a buy, okay, then we've got to say, okay, here's the 200 moving average. How? Let's say that it started to go into a buy here. What's the pippage? Okay, we've only got 9 pips that it goes to there. So when you take into account spread and you take into account any potential changes, you haven't really got enough in the trade to make it worthwhile. And certainly, you know, to get a safe stop loss, you're certainly not going to get a 1-to-2 ratio trade, so it's not worth it. Okay, so these are the sort of factors you want to be looking at when you're considering getting into a trade or not. Okay, so let's have a look on here. Again, similar sort of story. This is the pound CAD. Again, still waiting for this high impact news to come in. Still fairly well. I mean, this area here is in consolidation, so we'll just wait for that. And again, news quite a distance away, but nothing really happening. What you've got here, I've got this blue line here, and what I tend to do, this is from a few days ago now, so I'll take this off, it's a bit old. But what I tend to do is where you've got previous areas of interest. So an area of interest for me would be, let's look at the top of that. See this area here where it's almost flat, and this area here, okay, where it's kind of flat as well. This area would be a, so what I would do is I would put this on here, okay, and if price was going to go above the blue trend line, my next question would be, okay, where could price potentially go? And you look at the next highs. So you look to the left, you look at the next highs. And the other thing about looking for highs is always go with the pessimistic side. Never do this. Never go, well, it wicked all the way up to there, and it almost wicked there, so that's where I'm going to go. Okay, because you always want, you never want, when you're trading, you never want an optimism bias. You always want to be on the side of caution, on the side of what could potentially happen for things to go wrong, and that's really where you want to be. So looking at this, if price gets above the blue trend line, 200, okay, we've still only got 4 pips, so it's still no use. Okay, so we need to break out of this level, okay, or break out below, because we've still got imbalance below. So we'll have to see what's going to happen from there. So you can see all morning, pretty much a bit slow. Okay, a little bit at 12 o'clock, but not really too much happening. Let's go back to the Euro CAD. This is what I tend to do. I just tend to go back and forth, see what's happening, see what price is doing. Again, this is in this this wedge. Okay, so no man's land, and as you can see, price is respecting the trend line because it's offering resistance. It may well go back down and bounce off there and bounce off there. When it gets to this sort of level, then you can expect a breakout in one direction or the other. But again, you know, we've got the news, and you know, as the financial institutions, the big pension funds, the banks, they're not permitted to what's the word? I've forgotten the word. Let's come back on that. Manipulate. Thank you. I think I've been manipulated. So yeah, they're not allowed to manipulate the markets overtly. So what they do it behind news, and they go, okay, yeah, okay, the news affected the Canadian dollar by some severe degree, or whatever they do, and that's where they do it. And as retail traders, we have to be mindful of that, and we have to just sit back, let them do their thing, let them find out where they want to take price to, and stay out of it, because it's so dangerous for us. Because let me show you what they'll do, and I'm sure you'll be aware of this, but where's my brush tool? Here it is. So what they'll do, let's say for example, yeah, we'll just do it. I'll work it from the price. Okay, so if news hits, what they'll do, the banks can see where people's stop losses are. So people's stop losses could be here, people's stop losses can be here. Okay, above and below where price is, looking for the buy, looking for the sell. And what they do is they see people's stop losses as their take profit level, as their new order level rather. Okay, so they go, right, let's go and take it out. So they'll go up. Okay, they'll take out people's stop losses and liquidate them. Okay, they'll then go down and liquidate people's stop losses and liquidate those. Then they'll go, right, we've got all this liquidity in the markets, let's take the price where we want it to go. Okay, and this is what I'm thinking is going to happen today, and I'm thinking they're going to push price up, and they're going to end up, you know, mitigating all this imbalance. Price could go severely up. Okay, but we'll see. We don't know. I'm not Mystic Meg. Okay. Right, let's see, Euro USD, what have we got going on? Okay, nothing really too much at the moment. Pretty flatline really, pretty steady, pretty boring until the news kicks in, and we just got to watch the markets and listen to my waffle. Yeah, it's the same pretty much across the board. Right, how long have we got until the news kicks in? We've got 3 minutes. I was going to see if I could grab a quick cup of tea, but let's just wait until after. Let's wait until after the news kicks in. So the other thing to look at as well is when price goes either above or below the trend lines, you want some nice clear air. Okay, you want a nice positive move to know that it's creating a new trend, not a new trend, but it's out of this trend line. Okay, so you can see here it's dragging its feet. You can see there it's dragging. Okay, so I'll explain more when price actually happens. Euro USD, same situation. GBP CAD, same situation. Waiting for this price to kick in. What we've got now, 2 minutes left. GBP USD, again, same situation. Nothing really happening. Okay, we're at this pivot line here, and this pivot line is the P pivot line. Okay, and I always like it if I'm going to use pivots to do any sort of assessments, and I always like price to go through the P line, the pivot line, before to activate, before I consider using pivots. Okay, and again, pivots are good areas of support and resistance, and where price may well potentially go. Again, this is a 2 minute time frame. Got a bit of movement here. Okay, on the pound US dollar. In fact, what I want to do, I want to jump onto those. What time are we on now? 42. So I'm going to jump onto Euro CAD. I want to look at the CAD pairs and to see what's going to happen. What am I saying? Shoot down, shoot back up. And again, all we do as retail traders, we go, yeah, you get on with it, boys. There we go. Look at that. News kicks right in. Taking out stop losses down here. Big retrace, maybe a push to the upside. So let's have a look at the GBP CAD. Yeah, that's probably the same. Yeah, same situation. As you can see, what's happened with the WADR, just to see the WADR in action, is that we've got this darker red, and the darker red means see the pinky red. Okay, weak. Okay, darker red, strong. Okay, we've got the movement out of the movement is coming down, so we've got this white is coming down, which is indicating strength. Okay, but of course it's strength because it's been the markets have been manipulated by the banks, who have just chucked in somewhere in the region of 23 pips. So, and again, it takes around $10 million to move 1 pip. So you can see the amount of money that's been flung in. You know, it's not your granny who's just put a life savings in. So what do? We just sit and wait. It's a little bit like a flamethrower that's just been set off, and what we have to do, we have to wait for the flames to die down before we can go in and see what's happened. Okay, and we just sit tight. Sit on our hands, talk waffle until it goes. So the movement hasn't really affected the USD. Obviously, USD news is out here, so nothing really happening too much with USD. Look at GBP USD, similar kind of story really. Nothing happening. Still in a dead zone. We're still going to leave it alone. Nothing happening. Again, this is 2 minutes. So Euro CAD, what's it doing now? Is it going to give us a push to the upside? If it was to push to the upside, obviously we would see some green candles, obviously, but what it would do, this red trend line now is resistance, okay, whereas it was support before the news kicked in. So we've got resistance here, we've got resistance here, okay, we've got the moving averages. The 200 moving average is also a good potential take profit level. We've got the imbalance here with an old higher high here. Okay, so we've got to look at this. So we've got to be mindful of all these things. We might go, okay, yeah, it's going up for this, it's going up for the buy, but you know, what have we got along the way? In fact, it's still coming down. What our ATO is showing, again, still showing a pull to the downside, lots of volume, with buyers in control, but we know it's not really buyers, it's just the banks manipulating stuff. Right, Euro USD still tricking along, skipping away. We've got GBP CAD, similar situation as the Euro. GBP USD, that's interesting. So we've got 4 seconds left on this, so let's just see where this this takes us. This could be quite interesting. Right, so we're going to the downside on this, and my point of interest was this trend line here, okay, with this area here, okay. So if I was kind of interested in this level, what would I be doing? I'd be looking at three pips. No. Okay, the next area down from that, okay, is this imbalance. Okay, so you can see where the price has touched the imbalance, hasn't taken it out. In fact, it's old imbalance. Yeah, it's old imbalance. My apologies. That's already been taken out. Okay. So we've got area there. Well, let's get on the 15, it'll be easy to see. Right, so 15-minute time frame, you can see it a little bit easier now. So we've got areas here at the top. And then we've got the S1 pivot, which is down here, which is quite a way away. And I think on the this is 15-minute time frame. If you're going to use a higher time frame, i.e. 15-minute, you can use it to stay in the trade to give you more confidence about price action. But certainly, I use a 2 minutes to enter on. And again, if I was, let's have a look. So again, on the 2 minutes. So you've got some nice touches on here. Okay. So let's go and have a look. Let's put it back on for 2 minutes. See what CAD's doing. Oh, CAD's still going down. So are we going to see a touch of this pivot? So let's get on to the 15-minute. See what I mean? So the S1 pivot, chances are it may well go down to the pivot before it goes shooting back up again. It could well do that. Look at this. This is the. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, potentially you could get into a trade there. If we got into this trade now, the trouble is you ask yourself, well, where would you put your stop loss? Okay, so again, it's moving down pretty quick. If you're up here, then where I'd put my stop loss with this, bang a short on wherever. Okay, so if we were to get in somewhere around here, obviously with some news, your stop loss would go above the trend line. Okay, and if you look at sort of previous areas, if you look at this area here, okay, previous area of interest, so I would put it conservatively above there, so maybe a bit more than that, because you've got kind of, I like a general stop loss with this strategy for around sort of 5-7 pips. Other than that, you tend to find it a little bit too tight. and then obviously a 1 to 2 ratio. As you can see, this is through, it was 1 to 2. Okay, and that potentially, if you got in there, could have been your first take profit. Okay, and then you can just move down. But you know, again, we're dealing with manipulation, so we really don't know what's going to happen. We just have to. The fire's still burning in the room. The flamethrower has been activated, and we're still waiting for the flames to die down. So again, as retail traders, we're still waiting. Okay, so let's just get rid of that. Euro USD, again, still bobbing along, singing away, having a good time. Blah blah blah. Nothing really happening. You can see this area of resistance. Nothing really happening. Probably just a load of waiting until the news kicks in. Let's have a look at GBP CAD. Okay, similar situation as I said to the euro. So we've got kind of equal lows here, okay, which is going to offer some kind of resistance, and you probably see price, yeah, it's starting to go indecisive. Look, when you get little candles like this, okay, where they've got a big wick and a tiny little body, just call them doji candles. Okay, indecision. Be like Mavis from Coronation Street. We don't know what's going on. I don't really know. What was I saying? I can't remember what the saying was now. I don't really know. I think it was something like that. Anyway, most of you will understand a clue what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's indecision candle because it's hit this level of this low here, and you know, potentially price could then come back up. That's kind of what I'm expecting. Okay, look at this imbalance here. Huge amount of imbalance above here. Okay, let me just make sure that's still active. Yeah, it is. Or is it? Go on the 15, see what we're doing here. No, his imbalance has all been taken out, John. Right, so let's have a look at yeah, no more imbalance that I can see anyway. We got going on there. There's a bit there. Yeah, it's been taken out. Look. That's better. It's trouble when you talk at the same time as trying to trade. Alright. Okay, that's better. So you can see if we're entered the trade on the 2 minutes, and obviously, you know, bearing in mind that's lose. We're in the trade, we're going down for the sell, okay? And if we're on the 2 minute, then we're looking at this. It's quite a nice move. It's all right. Okay, you can see how the candle was bigger and the smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's got smaller. So what it means is the volume is slowing down. So the sellers, or the selling move is slowing down. And as you can see from the Wadarata, nice dark histogram. Okay, the white line is moving down. The histogram then goes to the pinky color, weaker. Okay, so it's kind of thinking about what it wants to do, but the indications are telling us. And all you got to do is look at the candles. Okay, some of the best indicators are just price action. Okay, looking at the candles and just getting the experience. And these indicators just confirm the price action to you. Right, so flames are sort of dying down. Okay, it's starting to, maybe we'll start to get more consolidation. And as always, what happens, after consolidation, we get a push. Okay, after a push, we get a bit of consolidation, then we get another push again. Okay, but I'd rather be involved in a push with no news than being taken for a mug by the banks, because that's all they do. Take everybody for a mug, take everyone's money. What are we on there? That's USD, isn't it? Pound USD. See, that was my area of interest. Actually, we're below the green trend line, so we should be pricking our ears up a little bit for a bit of maybe a potential. Know what we're talking about? Sorry. Should be above the green line for a buy. You knew that. All right, so nothing really happening at the minute, because if this price even goes up, this red line is going to be resistance, as is the 200. So nothing really happening at the moment. That's on 2 minutes. GBP CAD, similar situation. Euro USD, similar situation to GBP, and Euro CAD. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. That's come down to the pivot. Now you can go past the pivot. That's nice. And you can see me show you on the 15 kind of the way pivots can work. Okay, so we've got a pivot up here. Okay, it's a bit difficult to see because all this guff on the charts, but you've got a pivot up here. Okay, this pivot, let's see if I can need a bigger screen. So we've got, okay, I can see that. That's because you're a long trading day. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, we've come in. Is that it there? Yeah, that's the trading day. So we've come in. Okay, we've kind of flatlined. This is the Euro CAD. It's kind of flatlined for a bit, and then at 7:45 this morning UK time, it went down. And again, one of the sessions that we do is at 6 a.m. in the morning UK time for the start of London Open, and around that time price went down, created all this imbalance, and then now it's gone down to this pivot here, there's S1. So this is now a support line for this price, and what usually happens, what can happen, is price can go to this area because it's an area of interest and then bounce off. So at any line, whether it's a trend line or wherever it's going to be, price can either bounce or break. And what you often get with the pivots is that it will bounce, it will retest, and then boom, it'll be away. Okay, so that's kind of still what I'm anticipating for this for today. Before the end of today, I'm anticipating nice big buys and mitigating quite a lot of this imbalance. Euro USD doing its own thing. Okay, so now it's outside of this dead zone. Okay, we're now into some slightly clearer air. We're below the red trend line, and let me take that off, and potentially we're going down for 12-ish pips to the trend line here. Okay, so what have we got in between? Have we got anything in between there? Wow, this is a long one. Wow. So I would say the next point of interest for this could be the pivot. Okay, 58 seconds left on this time frame, and yes, we have got news coming up at 1500, which is an hour and 10 minutes away, an hour and 11 minutes away. And you see what happens now is this trend line was offering as a resistance because it was trying to break through there, trying to break through, bouncing, and now it's come below. So as I said, you've got clear air between the trend line and the top of this candle. And with 30 seconds left, if it gives us more clear air, and we look at the Wadarata, and the Wadarata currently is showing as a strong buy move, so strong sell move. We've got what we call a wave down on our straightforward indicators, straightforward Forex indicator. The cloud is showing as red. Okay, this area here, this zone is showing as red. So there we go. But again, we always wait, because what's happening, look, price is going, I don't know what to do. It's gone a bit Mavis. By the way, Mavis said, I don't really know. That was a classic line while she was drinking a sweet sherry. If anybody was ever watching Coronation Street in the 80s when it was watchable. Yeah, you see, again, we've gone into a potential sell, we've gone into an indecision, which means we just put the brakes on. And now we've got a engulfing candle. So this candle is now engulfed this one, and yeah, just wait. So GBP USD could well be doing similar things. If we look at this point of interest from here down to here, again, it's only 8 pips. This was an area of interest from a previous low, and you can see how price has respected that previous low. This is another previous low, but it's only 8 pips away. So again, when you take into account broker spread and the fact that price is moving quite quick, it's hardly worth it. Okay. Again, that was the area of interest, and you can't be optimistic and say, well, maybe price might go through that. You go, yeah, maybe it might go to your stop loss as well. But interesting to find out what's going to happen. Okay, 2 minute time frame. As I said, I think there's about 8.1 pips in that. Yeah, 8.5. Not really enough. And again, if we look at the Euro USD and also GBP USD, oh, we're on GBP. So yeah, Euro USD did something very similar. Okay, so they're all doing very similar things. Euro CAD, what's that doing? Okay, it's still indecisive around that pivot. Doesn't know what it wants to do. And the GBP CAD back into consolidation. Let's see what we've got in the way of news. So all US, yeah, nothing else is going to bother us apart from US news. A little bit of Euro news, but 1700, but we'll be finished by then. And yeah, I mean, what we've got? What's this one? GBP USD. Oh yeah, there's not enough in that, is there? I've done this trading game before where I've been a little bit more less experienced, I suppose, and all you want to do is take a trade. You just want to take a trade. Want to take that trade and get that good vibes feeling, okay? And sometimes the emotion is wanting to take a trade rather than just using your brains and going, actually, there's nothing really here that's safe. Nothing really here that's actually going to make me some money. So it's better to walk away not having taken a trade than kick yourself up the backside because you took a trade and it lost. And sticking with your rules. You'll hear every trader saying just stick within the confines of your own strategy. Stick within your rules. And I say, as soon as that optimism bias comes out, it'll be okay. I've seen it before. I know what I'm doing. And oh yeah, okay. Maybe I should have stuck to my strategy. Always stick to your strategy. So what's this? It's a pound Canadian dollar. So 24 pips at that pivot. If we look at the 15-minute, so that low is still a long way away. This low here. So we look at points of interest. We can look at something around here. So let's have a look at that. So a low is here, but we don't want to be looking at that low because it's too far away. And we don't look at this low either because there's not enough taps. Okay, look at this one. Okay, there's more taps, and again it's quite a conservative area. Okay, so let's just put that on and see how it represents our current price. What did we say there, didn't we? Right there. Another one. Look at all the taps here. Okay, so let's be. I'm going to put it there because it taps, lots of taps here, but it also taps here as well. And then from this one, you can put it on there. Right, let's see how that represents our current price. Okay, John, well done. You should have gone a little bit further back. I mean, I can see price going to the pivot, possibly, but I can't see it going any further. Let's just go back to the price again. Let's take these off. I was put these in the wrong place. Right, let's we're still on the 15-minute, aren't we? So we want to be looking around here. So this is where we want to be looking. Okay, there. Right, so below there, John. Below there. So again, you've got a strong pull down and a push back up, and you could probably guarantee that was some sort of news, so we can kind of eliminate that. Interesting area there, and let's just do one more. So from the taps, see that? Yeah, see, that's nice. Tapped here, wick down to there. So I was gonna use that for now. Let's just see where we're going. Right. Trouble is with this, sometimes when you're putting lines on your chart, you can put so many lines on your chart that you'll go, yeah, it's tapped there, yeah, it's tapped there, yeah, and you know, before you know what's happening, everything just looks like a winner, you know, because you've got too much stuff on your chart. But again, these are areas of interest, and this is, let's put it back on for 2 minutes. So again, is it an area of interest? Well, it's just wicked it, look. So we can give you like additional confirmation. So we've got 8 pips down to there, and we've got 17 pips down to the pivot. So, you know, let's have a look. We're going to short, and we're going to put our stop loss here, which is a little bit high. Okay, so down to the pivot, can we get a 1 to 2? No. So would I take that? No. Okay. There's not enough in it. And to be quite honest with you, I'm still expecting price to come back up. This is almost like, you know, getting the scraps off the floor. I want price to shoot up this way. But again, for price to go up, it's got to go through all these different barriers and traps and so on and so forth. So, and we've still got news coming up at 3 o'clock on the US. That's the CAD. Let's look at the GBP CAD. It'll be a similar thing. I always looked at that. GBP USD. Kind of not really doing a lot. Real indecisive look, really wicky. Euro CAD. Similar sort of thing. Right, okay. I want to call it a day because I've been on for an hour, and I may well come back a bit later to see what's going to happen. But anyway, let me just put some predictors on here. I know I always like to put a predictor on, so let's put a brush tool on. So I think this. What have we got? We've got oh, it's not till Monday. Price is going to do this. It's going to go up, right? It's going to go down. It's going to bugger about around here, okay, and then it's going to go up to here, okay. There's our predictor for the Euro CAD, right? And we've got GBP CAD. That'll be a similar sort of thing, okay. Where's that Euro CAD? That's going to go down to. It's going to mess around between these areas. It's going to go down. Okay, it's going to mess around going back up. Okay, then it's going to go up and take out this. Look how accurate that is. It looks wonderful. Oops. So that's what I predict. May well happen. It may not. Okay, but we've been on an hour, and what you can do is you can set yourself areas of you know what's going to happen when it gets past here. Well, why don't we put an alert on, okay? Price crossing up over the horizontal ray once per bar, create, okay? So when price goes above here, bearing in mind it may well go down, it may well just go straight back up, okay? I'm going to get an alert, okay? That's going to come through. I'll do the same with this one. So what I want to do, I want to see when price goes into this imbalance, okay? So hit the imbalance, hit the, can I put an alert on it? Does that count? No. Alright, let's put a line on then. Do it on the trend line. Euro CAD. Crossing up, trend line, create. We'll do it only once. Get loads of alarms going off. Euro USD. Again on the 15 minutes, have a look at that. May well come back up to meet this equal high. Okay, may well just tap up onto here, but again we'll have to see. Set an alert. You can set an alert somewhere around here just to let you know what's going to happen. I think it's gone below the trend line, but I just don't see it doing any more. What have we got? Yeah, we've got another 56 minutes yet before the news kicks in. So let's call it a day at that. Yeah, let's call it a day at that. Set your alerts, have a look, see what's going to happen, and I'll see you on the next session. Alright, if you haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. If you got some value from this, give us a thumbs up. I know we haven't taken any trades yet today, but we've shown you the setup, shown you what I do on a daily basis. I do this twice a day, and yeah, get some good results with it most of the time. You know, in the mornings and in the afternoons as well. Say Fridays, they're always pretty unpredictable, a little bit choppy, and so we've still got news coming up. So yeah, just set your alerts and see what happens. All right, I'm John McLaughlin. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.